Okay, this is Lynn Courage from My Marvellous Mind. This is video number 3 in a little series of 4, I think it's going to be, about the importance of you, the importance of your dreams, and zooming out, which was the last video, the importance of recognising the direction in which you're going and the impact of achieving the things that you want in your life. And now the importance of zooming in. I started out, I think, in the first video by saying one of the mistakes that we make is just by looking at the now. Let me add to that in addition to just looking at the now, we're just getting up, getting through the day, going through the motions, going to bed, getting up, going again. The issue with that is that we also only look at our aspirations at face value. It's like a surface level. You know, it makes the goal that you have flat. And I want you to make it 3-dimensional. I want you to add sparkle to it, you know, turn it into a vast diamond, right? To see how important it is that we actually just go for these things and stop putting them off. So in the last video, I talked about zooming out because we can do that by going, okay, well, that thing that I'm basically making quite insignificant in my life, that thing that I'm putting off, if I do that, look at the transformational life that awaits. It's never about that one thing. It's the positive knock-on effect. So what we need to do now is to look about how you make that possible. If you know what it is that you want to do, what you want to achieve, and you now recognise the importance of being able to do that, the job now is to go, okay, well, what do I need to do in order to make that possible? What do I need to change within myself, maybe, and the choices I'm making that will allow me to be the person that does that. I run a short mini program called, I call it Find the Gap. It's actually called the Life Balance Snapshot. And what we're doing in that is going, okay, well, this is life now. I can see it. I know what it looks like. I know what I'm happy with. I know what I'm not. If you've watched the last video and you've looked at, really seriously journal, what does life get to look like if I achieve that thing? Now what you want to do is go, okay, well, what's the gap between now and there? What are those differences? What are the differences in my relationship, in my work life, in my health and well-being, in my social circles, in my role as a parent, anything else? What are those differences? And for this purpose, I want you to think about it from the perspective of what kind of person does that. And the spoiler is that the kind of person that achieves those, without exception, always is the kind of person that puts themselves first. And I do not mean to the detriment of everybody else. My last video illustrates to you that it's never just one thing. When you achieve what you want, when you fill your cup up, everybody gets to benefit. You have to illustrate that to yourself in relation to your own life. But we make the mistake of putting myself first, mean that everybody else comes last. And that isn't the case. It's not the case. So my philosophy on you first is actually about self-awareness. It's about training yourself into understanding yourself. into being the observer of who you are. It's about not fighting yourself. So much of our pain and frustration and stagnation comes from our fight with reality, our fight with who we are, our fight with being human. And so the zooming in is zooming in on you, okay? Who do you need to be the person that not only dreams of that thing, but achieves it and experiences the positive ripple effect that emanates from that drop of you, where everybody else benefits too. One of the practices that I teach is, I call it the 5-minute rule. And it is quite simply training yourself into being aware of your dominant patterns, the things that rule your day. So you check in the morning and you go, okay, what am I thinking about? What am I looking to achieve today? What am I worrying about? What is it that I'm noticing right now as I look ahead to my day? Am I anxious? Am I excited? And then at the end of the day, we do a mop up and we look back and we go, okay, how did today go then? Did I achieve those things? Did I not achieve those things? Was it a good day? Did I even notice how today went? Am I struggling to fit in even 5 minutes to pay attention to my life experience so that I can change it? All of these things. This is the simplicity and the complexity of putting you first. You have to zoom in and get really honest. I think about my connection pyramid. You know, zoom in. How is your physical well-being? Are you looking after yourself? Would that help you to be the person that does the thing that gives that positive ripple effect and closes the gap between what life is like now and what you want it to be like? How is my emotional well-being? Am I happy? Am I anxious? Am I sad? Am I stressed? Am I cross? Am I loving? Am I giving? Do I feel like I'm moving towards my dreams, standing still, or moving away from them? It's all part of your emotional well-being. And the third element of the connection pyramid is your environmental well-being. You know, what are the nature of my relationships? Do I feel like I'm ruining my children? Do I feel like I'm connected with my husband, my partner? Do I like my colleagues? Do I want to stay there? Do I want to grow there? When was the last time I spoke to a friend? Am I listening to all the things that are great about the world? Or am I listening to the doom show every morning when I wake up and wondering why I feel bad? This is zooming in. This is, you know, it's not even a check-in from the neck up. You're really noticing what's going on in your mind, but you're also noticing what's going on in your heart and your body and your experiences of life. So in the next video, I will illustrate those there's two models that I'm going to go on to. One of them is the empowerment model, which illustrates the importance of you first. And the other is the connection pyramid, which I keep banging on about. So I'm going to press stop. I'm going to go back. And if on looking at these videos, you want to hear or know more, number one, subscribe to YouTube, because this is where I'm posting most of these. Number two, reach out to me. I'd love to know your story. And please feel free to give me your feedback, your comments, about whether this even makes sense to you. Take it easy.